All right, let's jump to the Monday night football slate. We got the Cowboys at the Bucks. The Cowboys are favored by 2.5 on the road. The total 45.5. Who do you like in the captain spot?
Have to go with playoff Lenny here. So I'm going with Leonard Fournette. And he only played 3 snaps last week. So I have to imagine it's because they anticipate a big workload for him in the playoffs. So he's been dealing with various injuries, pretty much all season, especially of lately. So having a semi bye week should, have him fresh and ready to go here. And rookie Rachaad White is definitely eating into his workload more than any other back the past few seasons with Tampa Bay. So I think, his rostership will be a bit lower, especially in the captain slot. So I think he's sneaky here, but I think they do lean on the veteran here in the playoffs and at least in goal line situations and passing down. So I think Fournette has a good shot to get, 4 or 5, potentially more receptions in this game script. So I like going with playoff Lenny here.
Yeah, I mean, of course he does. Like, what is Tom Brady gonna do? Like, throw it deep?
Tom right, true.
Especially like Dallas is what, number 1 in pressure, I believe. So that's
I don't know if they're number 1, but definitely top 3.
Let's see. I think they're 1 or 2. Let's see. Dallas, yeah, number 2. Who's number 1 now? Let's see. Oh, the Eagles. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so Dallas is number 2 in pressure. That means Tom Brady's going to get the ball out of his hands very quickly. So I would anticipate a ton of dump offs to the running back.
Yeah, they are getting Ryan Jensen back this week though, if I'm not mistaken. I know he's been back at practice, but if they get him back, that's massive. So maybe Brady will have just a little bit more time to throw. But either way, yeah, I think we're going to see plenty of dump offs to Fournette.
Yeah. I'm going with Chris Godwin. Really like him for kind of the same reasons. He's one of their underneath guys. He's going to catch 5-6 balls at minimum. He's actually caught 6 or more passes in 13 of his 15 games this year. So he's pretty much a lock to put up double-digit points. And then the Cowboys have given up 22 of their 23 receiving touchdowns, 2 wide receivers, pretty much nothing to tight ends and nothing to running backs. So Godwin hasn't been a big TD guy here, but if Tampa Bay is going to win the game, or at least try to win, be in position to win the game, they're gonna have to score a couple touchdowns here. I don't expect them to get straight up shut out or anything like that. So I think Godwin's a good bet for a touchdown here, especially because running the ball, Tampa Bay just doesn't tend to get a lot of rushing touchdowns just because they're I mean, that could change with Jensen, as you mentioned, but
yeah,
just to this top, as we've like to date, it has not been good in terms of the rushing touchdown. So I think Godwin's a good TD bet, and I think he's got a high floor, high ceiling kind of combination here. And if Tampa Bay is down, which they're underdogs, they're down late in the game, you're going to see him. He could explode. He could have like 10 catches, 150 yards, something like that. So really like Godwin in the captain spot.
Yeah, no, he's just always a great play in the captain slot. He's had 5 or more receptions since week 4.
Yeah.
Which is when he actually started playing this year. So that's crazy. And yeah, like he didn't have a touchdown until week 9. And I think we were just saying like, he's obviously due for positive touchdown regression, and he's scored 3 since then. So he's starting to find the end zone more, but yeah, just has probably the easiest path to a ceiling game here. So yeah, I love the call.
Who do you like for dart throws?
So I don't know if we can consider Cade Otton a dart throw, but I'm going
he's pretty cheap. He's like,
I think okay. All right. Well, I'd rather talk about him than someone like Koerner anyway. But just worth pointing out that Cade Otton, he only ran a route on 24% of dropbacks last week. It was Cam Brate who saw the most snaps, but I think that just goes to show that they consider Cade Otton their true number 1 tight end. They have been acting that way for close to 2 months now. So I think he does bounce back to like an 85% routes run rate here. And could have a big game with that underlying usage. And we have to remember, he's only a rookie, so he's only going to get better as he has more experience. So while he hasn't had that many, massive games this year, that could happen at any given moment. So love Otton on this slate. And then, on Dallas's side, it's pretty obvious. Got to go T.Y. Hilton. He's seen his routes run rate climb in each of the past 3 games, which is expected. But it was all the way up to 38% last game. So he could be in the 40 to 50% range here. And he's getting targeted at a very high rate. He's been targeted on 28.5% of his routes run, which is pretty high for a guy that sees mainly deep balls. So with an 8 out of 17.1 and seeing consistent targets, I mean, he is a must play on a showdown site like this. He can break it with just a couple catches. So I love taking T.Y. Hilton here.
Yeah, I love Hilton as well. And he's been playing very well against zone coverage, and that's what Tampa Bay does at the highest rate in the league. Hilton's averaging over 6 yards per route against zone coverage. But
that's probably just one catch for.
Yeah, no, he's got a couple, but it just goes to show he is playing well. I will go with on the Buck side, Julio Jones. If I think he's gonna play. They held him out last week, but this is the kind of slate where you're gonna look at Julio and say, whatever, this guy is like, he's banged up, he's washed. But at the end of the day, he's seen 26 of his 43 targets when trailing, and it's do or die for Tampa Bay. They're underdogs at home. And I don't think they're just going to be leading the whole game or anything like that. I do think at some point they're going to have to throw. So Julio could just pop up for, it could be one drive and Julio could get you all the points you need. So like him. And then on the other side, got to go with Noah Brown. I mean, I love T.Y., but Noah Brown's cheaper now than T.Y., and he still projects to run more routes. So, again, it's just going to be kind of a rostership thing where I'm sure T.Y. is going to be more highly owned because it just makes sense. He's projects for more upside, but Noah Brown still is gonna should run more routes. I mean, he's been doing that every game. He's been in the 70s at minimum, and I think his rostership would be very low. So he's a pretty good leverage play. On not just Ty, but pretty much all the Cowboys receivers. Schultz, CeeDee Lamb, who I think could struggle. He struggled last time these two teams met up. So. Noah Brown, Julio Jones, disgusting.
I love how pretty much anytime we talk about Julio Jones, the first thing we have to say is I think he's going to play.
I think he's going to play.
I think he's going to play. Who knows? One thing with Dallas, they cut James Washington, right? Where did he end up? The Giants?
I don't know.
I think he ended up with the Giants. He ended up with a team.
I didn't know he ended up anywhere, to be honest.
I was like, we might have to pay attention to where he ended up. I think it was the Giants.
Oh yeah. They just signed him a couple hours ago. They worked him out yesterday. Okay. Yeah, I mean, what is he going to take over the Kenny Golladay role?
Kenny Golladay looked pretty good last week, so I don't even know if he could do that. But I just noticed that. And John Ross to the Chiefs. Some good underlying moves lately.
The old school Giant. John Ross was on the Giants. Yeah. He got a touchdown last year.
Do we have any fullbacks here?
Do we have any fullbacks here?
Kokeeft.
Yeah, Kokeeft.
I mean, the Cowboys do have like 7 tight ends. It seems like Ferguson and Hendershot get
McEwen. They got McEwen too. Yeah.
I don't think does he have a touchdown this season? I don't think ever shows up. But I mean, Ferguson and Hendershot seems like every other week one of those guys score. So, do you consider either one of those guys?
I like Ferguson. Yeah. He's playing a little bit ahead of Hendershot, and he has better underlying metrics. I think his targets per route is 21%, which is pretty good. So yeah, Ferguson, I considered him over Noah Brown, but Noah Brown just projects to run like 10 times as many routes. So I went with him. But yeah, Ferguson, 21% targets per route. It's just, his routes have been in the 10, 5.
Yeah, they have been just leaning hard on Schultz, as they should. The past 6 games, he's averaging 88% routes run rate. So all these guys are splitting, just a few snaps. That was obviously different week 7 through 12 when Schultz had that PCL injury. We saw a lot more usage from these backup tight ends. But yeah, lately it's been slim pickings. But either way, they're certainly, vulture touchdown worthy sort of dart throws here.
Yeah, definitely. And on this slate, I think you've got to pay attention, especially because Tampa Bay plays so much zone that tight ends, running backs, guys like that could definitely hit. What do we got for the luck rankings?
Yeah, this is the only luck ranking game of the weekend, but Dallas is the second ranked team in our luck rankings, and Tampa Bay is 19th. So that's a luck ranking differential of 17. And I do like Tampa Bay at +3. I don't think it's up to +3.5, right? But
no.
I do think Tampa Bay at +3. You got Tom Brady at home in the playoffs at +3. Tampa Bay's overall, like, they're getting healthier. So I think they'll be a better team starting now. So what do you think about this game in terms of just like game flow?
I mean, it's at 2.5. So I don't even know.
Oh, it's down to 2.5.
Yeah, I don't even know if it gets back to 3. It's kind of tough to gauge because I feel like Dallas punted last game, like even though everyone thought they were gonna play hard, and they've kind of been just saving it up for this, so they're gonna come out. They're probably gonna come out with a lot of energy. If Tampa Bay's line is better, that's a major deal. So, I don't hate Tampa Bay here. Looks like the sharps are on Dallas for what it's worth, but I don't hate Tampa Bay at all. It's just I wish the line gets back to. I hope the line gets back to 3 though. Like, if it doesn't, it's kind of in a dead man spot where I probably can't go either way. But I think you could do like maybe the line gets better. You have your, like you said, Fournette in the captain spot, and go with it that way. Bunch of Dallas passing game players, maybe fade Zeke and Pollard or something like that. So there's definitely ways you can kind of capitalize on like a Tampa Bay positive game flow, because it's not out of the question. I mean, they are at home, like you said, Tom Brady in the playoffs. So I don't doubt that. I'm not counting them out at all. All right. So that's gonna do it for the week Wild Card Weekend night shift. Let me see again. All right, that's gonna do it for the Wild Card Weekend Fantasy Flex Night Shift podcast. For more great fantasy content from Sean and I, be sure to check out our full player projections episode out right now over on the Action Network podcast channel. And we got our fantasy preview episode right here on the Fantasy Flex podcast channel. Also, check out the news and waivers. Let me not say that. I think that's done. Be sure to check out actionnetwork.com for all of our fantasy and betting content, as well as our up-to-date player projections. FantasyLabs.com for our DFS tools and models. You can find Sean on Twitter at @the_oddsmaker and me at Chris Raybon. You can find us at those same handles on the free award-winning Action Network app. Good luck this weekend. Until next time, let's get this money.